Travis Barker is accused of being commanding Kourtney Kardashian. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and updates. Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker have been in the spotlight ever since they started dating, and even more after their marriage. Last year, they welcomed their first baby together, and many people were excited for them. On the surface, it all looked like a happy story, with two celebrities finding love and starting a new chapter together. But in the months after the baby's birth, fans and followers have started noticing details that make them feel uneasy. A growing number of Kourtney's supporters are beginning to believe that Travis might be showing signs of being too controlling in their relationship, and this has created a lot of debate online. The discussion really took off when the couple revealed their baby's name. Long before the birth, people speculated about what Kourtney and Travis would name their child. Travis himself had even hinted about the name publicly, and he seemed almost set on it before the baby arrived. Eventually, the name was confirmed to be Rocky 13. For Travis, the name carries personal meaning. He explained in the past that Rocky is the name of one of his favorite musicians, specifically the guitarist from the band Suicidal Tendencies. 13, on the other hand, is his favorite number. To him, the combination was unique, memorable, and perfectly suited for his child. He had even mentioned it in conversations with his daughter Alabama, telling her that Rocky 13 was the name that had been stuck in his head for a long time. When the baby finally arrived, they officially named him Rocky 13 Barker. For some people, this seemed harmless enough. Celebrity children often have unusual names, and Rocky doesn't sound any stranger than many names chosen in Hollywood. Some even said it sounded cute. But others pointed out that the full name looked heavily influenced by Travis alone, and that is what triggered concerns. Every part of the name came from Travis's personal preferences, his favorite musician, his favorite number, his own idea of cool. There wasn't any sign that Kourtney had an equal role in picking the name, and that imbalance made fans uneasy. On social media platforms like Reddit, people started sharing their thoughts openly. One user wrote that they didn't care if Kourtney and Travis's fans attacked them, because to them, the whole situation was raising red flags. They felt that this wasn't just about a name, but about a larger pattern of behavior. According to that person, even the wedding between Kourtney and Travis seemed to be styled entirely around Travis's vibe. Instead of blending both personalities equally, it appeared that everything reflected his world, the music, the atmosphere, even the fashion. And when Kourtney's clothing choices changed drastically after their relationship became serious, adopting a darker, rocker-inspired style, that too was seen by many as a sign that she was adjusting her identity to match his. Some fans argued that style changes are normal in relationships. People often influence each other and sometimes adopt parts of each other's tastes. But others felt this was different, that Kourtney's new style seemed less like natural inspiration and more like a complete transformation to fit Travis's image. For many who have watched her over the years, it didn't feel like the Kourtney Kardashian they knew. This is why the baby's name became a focal point. To them, Rocky 13 was the ultimate symbol of Travis calling all the shots. One online commenter said that if Kourtney agreed to name her baby Rocky 13, then it confirmed for them that Travis was indeed controlling. Another person pointed out that Rocky might have been acceptable on its own, even if it wasn't really Kourtney's usual style. But the addition of 13 pushed it over the edge, making the name sound like something pulled entirely from Travis's personal world, not theirs as a couple. Someone else joked that it reminded them of the TV show Stranger Things, and not in a flattering way. The criticism kept building, with more voices agreeing that the name represented Travis's interests alone. One user reminded people that Kourtney had always chosen fairly normal names for her other kids, such as Mason, Penelope, and Rain. Compared to those, Rocky 13 stood out as something very unusual, and not something they believed she would have chosen on her own. This growing chorus of concerns led people to describe Travis as controlling. They suggested that the only reason Kourtney went along with everything was because she believed Travis loved her deeply and showed devotion to her. From their perspective, her acceptance of his choices wasn't about her preferences but about her desire to keep the relationship running smoothly. Some fans even worried that Kourtney had lost her independence in the process, changing too much of herself to match Travis. The months after Rocky's birth have not been entirely smooth either. Rumors have circulated that Kourtney's older children, who she shares with Scott Disick, are not particularly fond of Travis. Blending families is always complicated, and it seems this situation is no exception. At one point, Kourtney reportedly had to leave Rocky behind when traveling to Australia, which raised eyebrows and sparked more conversation. For some, it was further proof that things weren't as perfect as they appeared from the outside. The discussions online have been intense, with people sharing their own views on whether this is just harmless family drama or something more serious. One Reddit user stated plainly that they believed Travis was controlling, pointing again to the way he seemed to dominate decisions like the baby's name. In their eyes, the pattern was clear. He was the one shaping the family's identity, while Kourtney adjusted herself around him. Supporters of Kourtney worry that she might not see the full picture because she is caught up in the emotions of love and loyalty. To them, her willingness to embrace Travis's world in every detail feels less like a partnership and more like submission. On the other hand, there are people who defend the couple, saying that Travis and Kourtney are simply in love and that compromises are normal in relationships. They argue that the name Rocky 13, while unusual, isn't harmful, and that people might be reading too much into it. Yet the conversation refuses to die down. Each time a new photo surfaces of Kourtney in rocker-inspired outfits or when Travis talks about his devotion to her, people revisit the same question: is he supportive or is he controlling? The fact that their wedding, her wardrobe, and now their baby's name all seem heavily influenced by Travis keeps fueling the idea that the balance of power leans strongly toward him. What makes this discussion even more heated is that Kourtney has long been admired for her independent spirit. Over the years on reality television, she often presented herself as someone who knew her own mind, someone who didn't let others push her around. That's why seeing her apparently adopt Travis's identity so fully has been shocking for many fans. They feel it's out of character, and they can't help but wonder if she is sacrificing her individuality. At the heart of it, the baby name has become more than just a name. To the public, it is a symbol of control, compromise, and influence in relationships. Rocky 13 Barker represents not just Travis's love for music and numbers, but possibly his dominance in decision-making. Whether or not that is the reality, it is the perception that has caught fire online, creating endless debates. The truth, of course, is likely more complicated. Relationships often involve one partner taking the lead on some things, while the other takes the lead on others. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.